Studio B, and today I want to talk about those heartfelt, heartwarming books, and I also want to talk about those gut-wrenching books. You know, the kind of book that makes you feel all the feels. You know what I'm talking about. The One and Only Ivan, Wonder, Fish in a Tree. Books like this, they all make you feel all the feels, and I love them. But sometimes you gotta widen your reading range just a little bit. What I'm saying is, we're not 8 anymore. And if you are 8, that's totally fine because I am passing this book down to my 8-year-old brother. So keep on watching, you guys. This one is called A Long Way Home. At least I think that's what it's called because this book is the Young Readers Edition. And that is a super important term to know if you like books because that means it was an adult book, but it got changed into a book that kids can easily read as well. So you're still getting the same great story, but in a way that's easier to read or doesn't have parts you don't want or things like that. So this book is called A Long Way Home, and it is not a happy, sappy book. That is not the kind of feel all the feels it is all about. When you think childhood, you think running around in a field of flowers, oh, kindergarten. But for him, our main character, he got lost at the age of 5 years old, not even in an orphanage, to defend himself, to feed himself, to live by himself, to just struggle to get a meal a day from the age of 5. Can you think about that? 5. Not, oh, let's go to kindergarten, mommy. He's thinking, will I be able to eat today? Eventually, he got adopted years later and had a semi-normal life, but he always had one question in the back of his head. Who am I? In the sense that, where did I come from? Where was I from? Where's my actual family? And that is a question that you can't just, brush off your shoulder. That's one that stays with you your entire life. And he spent years and years and years looking for his parents and his family. And what happens next is so amazing because honestly, it's such an amazing book and it's heartwarming and I love it, but it's also at the same time super scary. I mean, come on, you're 5 years old, there's a bunch of bad guys, and there's a bunch of people with guns, and there's a bunch of people hitting you and stoning you, and it's like, what? This is a true story. Can you believe that? And after these terrible things have happened to you in your childhood, what do you think you'd be like after this? I mean, at the age of 5, the most terrible thing that ever happened to me was losing a Fancy Nancy book or not getting an A on my spelling test, spelling the words big. But for him, it was such a terrible childhood and it took forever for him to actually be able to find a place that he could call home. But it wasn't home. He needed to find a home. But where is it? He wasn't like, oh, I remember where I was born. He doesn't even remember his mom's real name. How will he find who he really is if he doesn't know who he was? And it's a true story, you guys. And it was even turned into a movie. And I haven't seen it, but it looks really good. The movie is called Lion A Long Way Home. I think, at least. And it is really good, you guys. I love this book. You might not love it in the way of like, warm fuzzies. Happy endings, happy book. It'll be like, I love this book, you guys, because it's emotional. You feel all the feels, you guys. And it's a journey. It's a long way home. It's a journey. And you go through his life with him, and it's amazing what he's done. If you like that kind of book, Wonder, The One and Only Ivan, Fish in the Tree, Out of My Mind, then you are going to like books like this, Lion A Long Way Home, and there's some other books like that I've been starting to read too. So here's some that are on my list. Refugees. I've already done a partial review on this. I didn't get its own review, but I did do a partial review on this if you want to watch that video. And then The Boys in the Boat, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, and A Long Walk to Water. These are all books that are on my list, except for Refugee. But those ones were on my list, and I'm going to read those. I hope that you got some of my recommendations, at least wrote them down. And I really think that you guys will like these books because they're so good. And if you haven't read these staple library books, Wonder, the One and Only Ivan, Fish in a Tree, Out of My Mind. If you have not read these,